Today's story has some really strange events. I'll try to tell it in a way that makes you feel like you're living through the same experiences as the person in the story. Back in 2006, there was this girl named Sarah, and she was 20 years old. Sarah had been having some really weird dreams. In her dreams, there was always this one girl who kept appearing, and her name was Aurora. Aurora had a striking face with sharp features and long black hair. Sarah's dreams were all over the place. Sometimes she dreamed that she was in a big crowd, sometimes in her office, and other times, she'd be alone in her room. But in all her dreams, Aurora was always there. Sometimes, Sarah would find herself talking to Aurora in the dream, but she couldn't remember what they were talking about. Other times, Aurora would just be there in Sarah's dream without saying a word, just hanging out in the background or among a group of people, just watching Sarah. Sarah had dreamt about Aurora so many times that she started thinking, I must know someone named Aurora. Maybe I've met her somewhere, and that's why she keeps showing up in my dreams. Sarah started going through her old social media posts, scrolling through pictures with her friends, trying to see if there was someone with sharp features and long black hair like Aurora. But after looking at hundreds and hundreds of pictures, she didn't find any sign of someone who looked like Aurora, or at least someone who looked like her that she'd taken a picture with. Then, Sarah started searching on Google. She typed in details about Aurora, describing her sharp and striking features and her long black hair, hoping to find if anyone else had dreamt of someone like Aurora or had seen her in their dreams before. But unfortunately, nothing came up. After 4 months of these strange dreams, Aurora suddenly stopped appearing in Sarah's dreams. It was like everything just ended, and after a little while, Sarah completely forgot about Aurora and moved on from the whole thing. A few years later, on Halloween night in 2009, Sarah and her friend were driving on the highway. They took the exit that led to the gas station on the highway. Earlier that night, they had been out with friends celebrating Halloween and all that, and now they were on their way back home. Sarah parked in an empty spot in front of the store at the gas station. They got out of the car, went into the store, grabbed some snacks and drinks, and then headed back to the car. A few moments later, Sarah started the car and drove out of the gas station. There was a road that merged onto the highway, like an entrance ramp to the highway. So, if anyone left the gas station, they would end up on the highway. Anyway, Sarah was driving on this exit that led to the highway when suddenly her phone rang. What's about to happen now all took place in just a few seconds, and it all happened back to back. So I want you to imagine this situation as it happened. It didn't even take a full minute. So here's what went down. She was on this exit ramp, right where the entrance to the highway was, and it was connected to the gas station. Her phone rang, so she decided to pull over on the exit ramp. She hadn't merged onto the highway yet because the area was empty, and there were no cars on the road. She stopped her car to answer the call safely. So, she stopped in the middle of the exit ramp, picked up her phone, and checked the number. But it was an unfamiliar number, one she didn't recognize, and she had never seen it before. Still, she answered the call and said, "Hello," but the person on the other end of the line was silent and didn't say a word. When Sarah answered the call and said, "Hello," there was another car behind her coming from the gas station. It pulled up behind Sarah's car and started honking. It was clear that the people in that car were in a real hurry. Sarah felt embarrassed because she was blocking the exit ramp by stopping in the middle, so she ended the call and put her car in drive. Now imagine this, all of this happened within seconds, less than a minute. But the car behind her was clearly in such a rush that they lost patience, swerved onto the dirt shoulder just to get around Sarah's car, and then got back onto the highway. Literally seconds later, another car, a silver Hyundai Civic, was speeding down the highway, lost control, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it crashed into the car that had just passed Sarah. It was a massive accident, right in front of Sarah and her friend, who were still at the end of the exit ramp leading to the highway. They barely avoided being part of it. If Sarah had pulled onto the highway, she would have been caught in it. The Hyundai would have crashed right into her. Sarah saw the whole thing and was in shock. She immediately stopped and called the police. A few moments later, the police arrived, and Sarah and her friend explained what had happened. After the ambulance left and the damaged cars were towed from the highway, a police officer pulled Sarah aside and told her that both the driver of the Hyundai and the driver of the other car that had passed them had died in the accident. The only thing Sarah could think of was to call back that unknown number, the one that made her pull over and stop, which ended up being the only reason, by God's grace, that she didn't pull onto the highway and get caught in the crash. She wanted to call that number back, talk to the person, and thank them for saving her life, even if they had no idea they did. But when she called back, no one answered, and it automatically went to voicemail. And here's where the shock came. As soon as she heard the voicemail, it said, "Hi, this is Aurora. Leave your name and number after the beep." Sarah couldn't believe what she was hearing. She said she had never felt chills like that in her entire life. The next day, Sarah tried calling the number again, and this time, a woman named Aurora answered. They talked, and Sarah told her about the strange dreams, the accident, and how everything seemed connected. Aurora responded, saying, "What's happening to you sounds like something out of a crazy story. This whole thing is just bizarre and shocking, what you're telling me. But the thing is, I never called you yesterday. I have no idea about that call or how you even got my number." By the end of the conversation, neither of them could come up with a logical explanation for what had happened. They just thanked each other, wished each other good luck, and ended the call. After the call ended, Sarah found herself in a state of disbelief. She didn't know how to explain what had just happened to her in the past 24 hours. She thought back to all the dreams she had over the years and was completely puzzled. She then opened Facebook and searched for Aurora's full name, which she had given during their conversation. As soon as the search results came up, Sarah almost fainted. At the top of the results page was Aurora's profile, and when Sarah saw the picture, she was stunned. Aurora's face was the exact same face that had appeared in her dreams for years, same long black hair, same sharp features, same eyes, same everything. It was literally the same woman who had been appearing in her dreams and who had somehow saved her life from that accident. We've reached the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if anyone has ever had similar dreams, where the same person keeps showing up in your dreams, or if the same person appears in a bunch of different dreams. Alright, take care, and don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed yet, my friend, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.